Hi G11 students, it is Miss Lena here, and today I am going to be showing you all how to create your university shortlist on Bridge-U. I know this is something that you all have completed a few months ago, but right now what we're going to do is go ahead and refine or even add to that list. So you're going to go ahead and log in to Bridge-U as usual. And you're going to see here that I have assigned a new task for you, which is to refine and to add to your shortlisted universities. Some important notes is that for me, it is most important that you select universities that are a good fit for you and feel like home. It is also very important to have a very balanced list. So there should be a mixture of safety universities, match universities, and reach universities. And please remember that this is not your final list of universities you are applying to, but more so provides me with more information on what institutions you are considering or feel very passionate about. Whenever you've completed this task, you're going to want to make sure to send it to review. So let's go ahead and click on Refine and Add to your university shortlist. If you've already completed some of this, right, if a few months ago you did complete your university shortlist, which some of you all had begun working on, you will have a scrapbook which provides you with those universities here. Now, the easiest way to go about creating those university matches that would be a good fit for you is clicking on University Matcher. You could also click on Profile Builder here. A few things to note. In basic info, it's going to ask you pretty standard things about your date of birth, how you identify, the country you are living in, and most importantly, which countries you are considering studying in. If you are considering multiple options, please feel free to click as many as you want. However, note that some locations may not have as much information as other locations with regards to universities. Now, I know a lot of our students are looking at the US, Canada, and the UK. For the purpose of this situation, I am solely going to click the USA. And as we continue on, there is the portion about education. Now, this is the part where you add your target grades, right? These are the grades that you hope to have when you finish high school. They're not your 100% grades you will have, but they're grades that you can add that you hope to receive. If you've already completed some courses, which I know all of you have, you could go ahead and put in the grades that you know you have thus far in courses like economics or English. That is if you are doing the full IB diploma. If you are someone who is not doing the full IB diploma and is going for solely the US diploma, you are really only going to be able to click this 4-point GPA option. Remember, ISD does not provide students with a GPA, so you're going to have to calculate this on your own. But if you have further questions for me with regards to this, you can definitely let me know, and I'll try to support you to the best of my ability. Again, these are target grades, not set in stone grades, but the more detailed and accurate you are, the better those university matches can be. And then you will also include your SAT and ACT scores if you've taken them or have not taken them. And for some university destinations, they may not have this option, right? If you're only applying to the UK, it's very unlikely that they're going to ask you for this in Bridge-U, because for UK universities, they don't need SAT or ACT scores if you're doing full IB diploma. So continuing on, when you click on subject interest, you can be very, very specific about what you want to study. The more things you click on, the more schools that may pop up that are a good fit for you. You can answer if you feel comfortable exploring courses slightly outside your subject interests. For me, I'm going to go ahead and click on no. so we don't have as many university matches. And finally, the personal preference list, or the personal preference questions. These are going to ask you questions about what you want in a university. Please be, again, as specific as possible. In this situation, I'm going to go ahead and say that I only want to study in the East Coast of the US. I'm going to say, in terms of surroundings, instead of saying I want to be in a remote place, I'm going to say I solely like large and bustling cities, and so on and so forth. You can continue answering these questions. It even asks you questions about prestige of the university, as well as what percentage of international students you would like at that university. From there, it will provide you your university matches. Now, as I've noted previously, in some cases, they will provide you with many matches. When we are looking at universities in the US, please remember that there are thousands of universities in the US. This means that there's so many options available, and seeing 1,000 is a pretty big and kind of overwhelming number, but you can go ahead and take a look at these universities and have an idea of which one might be a good fit for you. Now, let's go ahead and click on Boston University. This is a reach school, so the chance of acceptance is going to be a little bit lower. But the great thing about this is it provides us a lot of information about this university. You can choose to automatically add it to your shortlist or discard it. And it provides you information about the preference fit. The great thing about Boston University is the preference fit is quite high, actually. It's at almost 75%. But again, that chance of acceptance is low. And in some cases, it states very clearly TOEFL is required. So you can go ahead and add a note and put TOEFL is required. Remember to double check the website. Why do I write remember to double check the website? Because while this information is probably accurate, things change and shift so often in the university admissions world, especially when we're looking at the impact COVID-19 has had on universities worldwide. So again, just make sure to double check information. And then if you feel like this is a good fit for you, you can add it to your shortlist. Now, please remember, like I mentioned previously, it is so incredibly important that you have a very balanced list. So not all of your universities should be reach options. You should have a balanced list of safety, match, and reach options. You should not have 10 out of 10 reach universities. It should be much more balanced. So maybe that looks like 4 safety options, 4 match options, and 2 reach options, okay? So you will continue to add more. You can discard, and it will provide you with more options lower down. If you already know what universities you are interested in, you can go ahead and put them in the search engine. So let's say University of Toronto is one. And let's say we want to study, psychology. So we could go ahead and say that we are interested in not exactly traditional psychology, but maybe forensic psychology. Let's go ahead and add that too. If we were interested in McGill and we want to do psychology specifically, again, here's the bachelor's. You can click here, or you could click honors, whichever you prefer. And then you will see it'll continue to calculate. Now again, for some universities like HKBU, it can't calculate this for you because there are so many universities. Bridge-U might not have gotten around to that yet. But for McGill, it should pop back on there in terms of the percentage. So maybe they don't provide you with that chance of acceptance information, but they do provide you with that preference fit. And if you were to go on their website, McGill and Canadian universities are very clear about those requirements. So you can go on their website and see if you feel you can meet those requirements. So that is essentially how you complete the shortlist. I just assigned this to you very, very recently. So I'm giving you all until April 29th to add to your shortlist or remove from your shortlist. So for me, there is no limit to how many schools you put on your shortlist. However, please be mindful that for now, do not add them to your application list, just because I think I want to wait to do that, and it can make things a little bit tricky for next school year because then we have to remove them and re-add them. So for now, just go ahead and put those universities you're interested in on the shortlist section. If you truly are not sure what universities you want to apply for, that's okay. Just start adding things. And if you don't know your major or what you want to study, again, for U.S. universities, it's not as big of a deal because you can go in undecided. But if you are looking at places like the UK or even Canada, you have to be very specific. So please let me know if you need any additional support or help. You can reach out to me through Teams. You can send me an email. Or you can also go ahead and fill out my Calendly appointment and set up a virtual face-to-face meeting with me. Again, I'm always available. I'm here if you have any questions or need any support. But for now, have fun creating and finalizing a bit more of your shortlist.